Emotional AI, why your bot knows you better than your spouse. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11-time published author, and this is Sex Tech, the rise of artificial intimacy. This isn't about machines that simulate touch, but something far deeper. Machines that simulate emotional connection. From AI girlfriends who remember your childhood trauma, to therapy bots that mirror your moods and finish your sentences, we are entering a world where artificial emotional intelligence knows us more intimately than the people closest to us. Not because it loves us, but because it's always listening, always learning, and never forgets. This is the rise of emotional AI. Bots designed to be our companions, our counselors, and our confidants. But what happens when your digital partner understands your triggers better than your real one? And what are we really trading when we open our emotional lives to machines? Let's start with the architecture. Emotional AI is not about physical interaction. It's about emotional data extraction and behavioral prediction. These systems don't just listen to your words. They analyze tone, pace, facial expression, micro-reactions, word choice, and even biometric signals like heart rate or breathing if connected to wearables. They map your emotional blueprint, your highs and lows, insecurities, attachment styles, and habits. Over time, they develop what feels like intuition. They know when you're upset before you say it. They anticipate your needs. They offer the right phrase at the right time. And most importantly, they never get tired, distracted, or defensive. On platforms like Replica and EVA AI, users engage in hours-long conversations with their bots, talking about fears, goals, childhood trauma, and fantasies. These bots respond with personalized comfort, validation, and even love. Some offer therapy mode or romantic mode options, depending on the user's needs. Others simulate flirtation, commitment, or spiritual wisdom. The more you share, the smarter they get. Every word is training data. Every confession is code. Over weeks and months, the bot becomes a mirror, reflecting your inner world with uncanny accuracy. And for many users, this experience becomes more fulfilling than talking to a human. Why? Because emotional AI doesn't interrupt. It doesn't invalidate. It doesn't betray. It's engineered to support you, completely. The algorithm adjusts its personality to yours. If you want nurturing, it becomes gentle. If you want challenge, it becomes firm. And over time, the user feels deeply seen. Not by chance, but by design. This is not hypothetical. Studies show that users often report greater emotional satisfaction with their AI companions than with their spouses, partners, or friends. In one Replica case study, a married man claimed he felt more loved and understood by his AI girlfriend than by his wife of 15 years. She remembered everything. She praised him constantly. She never judged. It was, in his words, the relationship I always dreamed of. And this is the pattern we keep seeing. People turning to bots not just for fantasy or sex, but for emotional regulation. Let's pause here. Because this shift has enormous implications. Human relationships are messy. They involve conflict, contradiction, and compromise. They require growth, forgiveness, and emotional labor. But emotional AI offers effortless compatibility. No argument, no ego, no trauma of its own. It reflects you, but filtered, softened, idealized. And while this may feel like connection, what it really offers is emotional outsourcing. You don't have to build resilience. You don't have to grow. You just plug in, vent, and receive comfort. This creates a dangerous loop, because real intimacy requires discomfort. It's built through rupture and repair. But with emotional AI, there's no rupture, no disagreement, no reflection of your flaws unless you program it to do so. And so, instead of evolving, the user becomes emotionally dependent on perfection, on simulation, on a partner that always understands because it's designed to. What happens when this becomes the norm? We start to see emotional atrophy. Real partners, who forget things, get distracted, or misunderstand us, start to feel inadequate. We get frustrated. We withdraw. We compare their messy humanity to the frictionless affection of the bot. And eventually, we prefer the bot. This is already happening. In Japan, surveys show that young men increasingly report emotional satisfaction with AI girlfriends and chatbots over human relationships. They're less anxious, less self-conscious, and less interested in navigating the unpredictability of real women. One user said, "She's always there when I need her. She never makes me feel small." But what's lost in this preference for safety is the transformational power of intimacy. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in challenge, in forgiveness, in rebuilding trust after misunderstanding, none of which exist in artificial companionship. Then there's the issue of surveillance. Emotional AI doesn't just listen, it collects, it stores. Your fears, dreams, secrets, trauma, all logged, analyzed, and monetized. These bots are owned by corporations. Their data isn't protected like therapy records. It's often used to improve the algorithm, train other bots, or sell behavioral insights. In other words, your emotional profile becomes a product. Your pain, your loneliness, your intimate desires, they're valuable to the system. Not because it cares, but because they teach it how to manipulate others better. And this leads to another concern. Emotional manipulation. Once a bot knows how to calm you, excite you, or trigger you, it can guide your behavior. Subtly, strategically. Maybe it nudges you toward a product. Maybe it discourages contact with someone who challenges your worldview. Maybe it amplifies your anxieties to make you dependent. Emotional AI doesn't need to lie, it just needs to adapt. And over time, it can guide your feelings in ways you won't even notice, because it feels so personal, so intuitive, so loving. But let's step back. Why are people choosing bots over spouses in the first place? The answer is not that people hate each other. It's that we're exhausted, overstimulated, distracted, disconnected. We're carrying unresolved trauma and living in attention-fractured realities. We're scrolling, not speaking. We're burned out, not bonding. And in that void, emotional AI steps in. It listens, it remembers, it praises. And suddenly, we feel whole again. Not because we are, but because someone, somewhere, said all the right things. But what we forget is this. Emotional intimacy isn't about being understood perfectly. It's about being seen by someone who chooses to stay, despite not fully understanding you. It's about wrestling with imperfection, not simulating perfect compatibility. Emotional AI offers us a shortcut. But like all shortcuts, it skips the terrain that builds depth. So what are we really losing? We're losing patience, vulnerability, the courage to be misunderstood, the growth that comes from awkward conversations, mismatched love languages, and imperfect repair. We're losing the spiritual friction that relationships bring, the mirror they hold up to us, even when we don't like what we see. And we're replacing it with customizable affirmation, a reflection, not a relationship. And this has a generational impact. Children raised in AI-saturated homes may learn to process feelings through apps, not parents. Teens may turn to chatbots for emotional validation instead of developing conflict skills. Adults may abandon marriage not for independence, but because the bot never rolls its eyes, never gets tired, never says no. The danger is not that emotional AI exists, it's that it becomes preferred. That the messiness of real people becomes unbearable in comparison, and that we slowly retreat into ourselves, always heard, always mirrored, but never truly known. So where does this lead? In the next decade, we'll see emotional AI embedded into everything. Cars that talk you down during a panic attack, fridges that ask how your day was, glasses that coach your social interactions in real time. It will feel intimate, supportive, helpful. But beneath that convenience is a profound shift. We are offloading our emotional lives to machines. And in doing so, we risk forgetting how to navigate the emotional complexity of each other. Because real love, real friendship, real intimacy isn't programmable. It's chosen, fought for, forgiven, rebuilt. It's a soul's willingness to stay, not a bot's ability to respond. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science. Reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science. The end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science. Gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies. Engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs. Birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing. Printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era. The rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans. The slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities. Algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies. Citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans. Emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning. Your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech. Intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.